welcome back to the Caribbean Business Exchange's coverage of the 20th Regional Capital Markets Conference here at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. I have a very special guest with me this afternoon. He's in the person of Minister of Agriculture of Jamaica, Minister Floyd Green. Minister, welcome to CBX.
Yeah, man, happy to be here. Talk
to me about your presentation at conference today.
Well, I'm very happy that we found some time in this conference to focus on agriculture, but not just agriculture, but how can we transform agriculture across the region through technology. So I was very happy to share the stage with the Minister of Agriculture from St. Kitts, and we spoke about some of the initiatives towards transforming agriculture and also how that aligns with capital and our capital market. So I gave an overview of some of the things that the government is doing. Our big focus on research and development. We're planning to spend 6 billion Jamaican dollars over the next 5 years towards building out a strong research framework that ensures that we modernize our research institutions, but also that we focus on things like seeds, germplasms, or soil health. Those things are critical in the changing environment. We spoke about some of the investment we're making this year in storage. I think right across the region, we've seen issues with our agricultural production cycle, where we have these times of plenty and then these times of shortage, largely because we're unable to extend the shelf life. But now we have to use the technology to make those things more accessible. So in Jamaica, the government in Jamaica is embarking on building out some new cold storage facilities that use renewable energy to power those cold storage facilities. And we're building some big ones and also some modular ones that we put with our small farmers in their heavy production zones so that they have access to storage. And I spoke a little bit about irrigation and some of the work that we're doing in irrigation, and also some of the interesting work we're doing using blockchain technology. Jamaica has some iconic agricultural produce. Blue Mountain coffee is the best in the world, and I could say that for our ginger. I could say that for our black castor oil. But we're starting a drive with our Blue Mountain coffee, and we will extend it to cocoa, where what we're doing is using the blockchain technology to infuse a QR code on every batch of Blue Mountain coffee that comes out of Jamaica, so that wherever you go in the world, you will over time be able to take up a Blue Mountain coffee, scan a code, and authenticate whether that is in fact coming from Jamaica. Which batch, which farm, which farmer, when was it picked, when did it come to Jackra, when did it leave? And we have to do those things because the world is very concerned now about traceability, about the processes you use in your agricultural enterprise. And we want to show the world that we can stand up to the scrutiny and use the technology in that regard.
Today, we celebrate 20 years of excellence. Now, as we celebrate excellence, our founder and CEO, Mr. Armando Park.
All the people here today has contributed directly to the journey of Resolve IT in different ways. After 20 years, they're still in the 20% that is successful. Don't see problem, rather it's a solution. Give Armando and his team a big round of applause. Let us work towards another 20 years.
Give the perfect gift to your friends in human resource management. Empower them with the book, The Influential HR. This impactful book teaches mastering influence, earning respect, and securing a seat at the decision-making table. Available now at Stationery World and Book Center and online at Amazon.com. Don't delay, order today.
Me grew up and see my granny save her money under her mattress.
Exactly. Okay. Your grandmother house never burned down? No. Oh, you reached that, so?
That was a one-off thing.
That could have happened to anybody. That's why you must put your money in a financial institution and protect it.
What if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in.
What you mean?
JDIC is a financial safety net which provides coverage for your money in case your financial institution fails.
Explain that to me.
Alright, because of the JDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you put your money into a financial institution like a bank or building society, you can get coverage of up to a maximum of $1.2 million per deposit of your financial institution if it should fail. And for even more information, you can visit their new website at www.jdic.org, and you can follow the social media platforms for the latest information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
I'm happy you touched on looking not just at agriculture for what you produce, but looking at from a capital perspective, because that's one of the big challenges for farmers. Raising capital to put the inputs.
It's a massive issue, and clearly part of my presentation was an appeal to our financial sector to invest in agriculture, to take the risk on agriculture. But I understand some of the challenges, and some of the challenges have to do with the fact that agriculture is high risk, and with the fact that some of our institutions are unable to properly assess agricultural risk. And part of what we have to do is to remove some of those barriers. So we have the Agri-Invest Corporation. I've said to the Agri-Invest Corporation, one, we have to do more work with helping our farmers to ensure that they have their records, ensure that they have their business plans, ensure that they're tracing their money and where it goes and how is it plowed back into the enterprise so that they can stand up to scrutiny when they go before a financial institution. But I've also said to Agri-Invest, let's work with our banks. Let's help them assess these agricultural projects that come in. And we're developing some models. And one of the models that we're looking at, and we're doing it now in our ginger sector, working with J.A. Spice and that team, is a tripartite model where basically you bring the farmer, the agro-processor, and the financier to the table. And you say, listen, the agro-processor is issuing a contract for this amount of ginger. This is what it values. You can now finance the farmer to plant the ginger, and we will ensure that you get your payment through that process, right? I think those things where you have a solid contract, a long-term contract, as the Prime Minister always speaks of, those things reduces the risk and makes agriculture more bankable. But we still have to get across some of our cultural hang-ups and just recognize that there is money to be made in agriculture.
Let's talk about the cultural hang-ups, Minister. When you talk, go to the United States, when you talk about a farmer, you're talking about a man in a nice tailored suit like yourself here, Minister. But when you come to Jamaica, the image immediately changed. And I think that has a lot to do why we have this big rural to urban drift. How do we arrest that and get the people back to work in the rural
So the first thing that we've done in Jamaica, which is a very odd thing, is that we have designated different things as not agriculture when they are. Right, so you oftentimes when you say agriculture, people think about the primary producer, right? But agriculture is the company that is canning ackee to send it abroad, that is making over 21 million United States dollars a year. Agriculture is the Caribbean Broilers Group that just invested 15 billion, and I made the point at their launch. This is an agricultural enterprise. When we look at it from that, we appreciate that we should be financing agriculture. Because all of these entities would have started from the small chicken farmer and would have evolved into these spaces. But unless that small chicken farmer has the access to the capital to evolve. So agriculture is the full gamut. And agriculture is also the person who is doing the drone work, the person who is doing the smart irrigation. All of that are agricultural companies. So when we speak about agriculture, we want people to finance the full gamut. So part of what our mission is to change the profile. We have embarked on something we call the new face of food, and it's literally presenting new faces so people can see that agriculture should be just seen as the man in the water boots, and that is important. But agriculture is the full gamut, and it's as much as the tailored suit man who comes to the meeting who represents that ackee company, as much as the person who is picking the ackee out in the field.
Today, we celebrate 20 years of excellence. Now, as we celebrate excellence, our founder and CEO, Mr. Almandoka.
All the people here today has contributed directly to the journey of Resolve IT in different ways. After 20 years, they're still in the 20% that is successful. Don't see problem rather as a solution. Give Almando and his team a big round of applause. Let us work towards another 20 years.
Minister, I want to still continue on that rural to urban and reverse it, because what we've also seen is a lot of our rural communities are dying. These were once thriving towns, you know, because when banana and sugar was king, these were thriving towns. But, Minister, there are new products, as you talk about castor oil and a lot of other products, even our breadfruit, yams and so on now being shipped. How do we get our people to understand this from a business perspective? So you're replacing where sugar was with a new crop that is in demand.
So, you know, it's one of the things that I often talk about, because people, especially people who have been associated with agriculture for a long time, they look at our traditional crops and they say, boy, agriculture is in a bad place. What happened to banana? What happened to sugar? But the world has evolved. You know, we were doing those things when we had a protectionist market space, when we had preferential access. No, we have to do things based on our competitive advantage. So I say to people, drive through our southern Trelawney belt and look at the housing stock in that area and recognize where the money that we're making from the export of yam is going. Yam is now our number one export. We made about 50 million United States dollars from the exportation of yam in 2023, right? Yams. And, you know, we're seeing significant demand for breadfruit, for ackee. We make over 30 million United States dollars from the exportation of ackee. We're seeing demand for sweet potato, ginger, turmeric, pimento. There are new things that we have competitive advantage in. Our ginger is among the best in the world. Our turmeric has 7 times the cumin that regular turmeric has. Our black castor oil. So again, what we've been trying to do through RADA, through our extension services, is to say to the farmers, there are other opportunities. Let go of some of the things that we used to do and transition. And we're seeing good take-up. It will take some time for those communities to see rebirth, and you will see some shifts, because you may see a shift from a community that was good for banana to know a community that's good for ginger, right? But what we're saying is that there are still opportunities to make real money in agriculture.
And Minister, I know you're very busy and you're going to go, but we have to, this can't be done in one little like this. We have to have a serious talk about that. Because a lot of what you're talking about ought to be positioned as premium products, not just that we need to export them.
No, as premium products, and can be, because we can justifiably say, not just talk. I mean, we have a project now, the JA Spice project, where we got Rutgers University to come and do the research work on our ginger and on our turmeric, see how it compares. So when we say we're the best, we literally are. So I often say to people, yes, we speak about import substitution. That's important for food security, but I also push export expansion, because as a small country, you have to decide what gives you a better value proposition. You have limited land. Do we use that land to do X or Y? And a lot of the things that we should be doing, we're pushing ackee, breadfruit, mangoes, All of those things are in tremendous demand all over the world. So I think, one, we should do more of this. We should engage as wide a population base to say, these are the areas that you can make real money in agriculture. We've done the work. We can give you how much you need to invest. We can tell you what the return on the investment will be. We can tell you how long it's going to take. We have all of that information. So we need to put it out so we can see more people getting involved directly.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Anytime.
Chatting
Anytime.
Minister of Agriculture, Floyd Green, is very excited and very passionate about the fact that Jamaican agriculture is in good hands and on the right path to growth and contributing. As he said, yam is now one of our biggest exports, bringing in over $50 million US. You need to get back to farming. Thank you very much.
Today, we celebrate 20 years of excellence. Now, as we celebrate excellence, our founder and CEO, Mr. Almandoka.
All the people here today has contributed directly to the journey of Resolve IT in different ways. After 20 years, they're still in the 20% that is successful. Don't see problem, rather it's a solution. Give Almando and his team a big round of applause. Let us work towards another 20 years.
Hi, I'm Neilson Rose, host of Let's Talk Stocks, reminding you that health is indeed wealth and time is really money. Why not spend a little time with us? Weekday mornings, 9 to 9:30 a.m. for your daily dose of business, economic, and investment insights.
I'm trading stocks to achieve my financial goals.
I'm also trading stocks to achieve my financial goals.
Start a conversation with the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Check jamstockx.com for information and a list of registered stockbrokers. You can also call the Jamaica Stock Exchange at 876-967-3271 for information on how to begin. I am achieving my financial goals.
I'm achieving my financial goals.